Okay, so here's my issue. I put on Goodreads at the beginning of the year, January 1st, that my reading goal was to be 75 books. Okay? Not too much, not 100 because I thought that was too high, and then not 50 because I thought that was too low. Because when I first got into reading last August, I read 40 books between August and December. So I was like, if I could read 40 books between August and December, I could definitely read 75 throughout the year and take my time. I did not know I was gonna be in all these reading slumps. I think I've had like 3 reading slumps this year, so I'm very behind. Do you guys want to know what I'm at right now? How many I'm at out of 75? 32. 32 books. 32 books is 4 books a month. I don't even remember reading 4 books a month. I think one month I had like 8 books, then another month I had like 2 books, and then another month I had like 1. This is my dilemma. In order to get to 75, I have to be reading, let's do the math, 75 minus 32. That is 43 books. It is now September. I have to be reading 10 to 11 books a month in order to get my goal of reading 75 books. Hopefully I don't get into another reading slump on the way. I've actually started getting into audiobooks, and that is what's really kind of taking me out this reading slump and making me finish a book right now. I am on my reading grind. Reading era for real, okay? Let me show you guys all my books I'm going to read in September. I think 12 I picked out for the month of September. I'm getting at 75 books this year. I don't care. Also, I look a hot mess, but like, let's ignore it. Okay, so first of all, these are all out of order. I'm not reading these in the order I'm showing you guys. Okay, so the first book is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone. I don't know what this book is about. I think this is a lesbian romance. It's literally only like 200 pages. So if I'm like reading a whole bunch of books and I'm like, I can't go through another like 400, 500 page book right now, I'm whipping out this bad boy. I could just knock this out tomorrow. I low-key just want to read this tomorrow just so I can say I have a book ready at hand, but I have to do this carefully. I have to make strategies because if I just read, I'm going to get in another slump. Then The House in the Cerulean Sea. Everyone in my book club literally raves about this. I've seen people on TikTok rave about this book, and I heard that this has amazing found family, and I think there's romance in it, or I don't know. I'm a romance whore, so I pick up anything that's romance, but they said that this has amazing found family, and I eat up found family. This is the book I read on September 1st and finished it September 1st before I let go. This book was so good. Just wait for my reading wrap up to know how many stars I rated this, or just follow me on Instagram. So this is literally a second chance romance, and I never read a second chance romance. This is actually my first. I am happy I did this because this is so freaking good. I can't wait to tell y'all my reading wrap up. Just know that this book is good. Then I have Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune again because a lot of people read this book and said it was good. So of course I'm gonna eat up a book that everyone says is good because my issue is that I have FOMO, fear of missing out. I don't like being left out. I really hate it. Right now I have a book in my pile right now that everyone's read that I haven't read yet. I want to speed read that book, but I really can't because I'm kind of scared to read the book. Then I have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This is also a second chance romance. I heard that book is kind of spicy. I really hope it's just as good as Before I Let Go, but I don't think any second chance romance is going to be just as good as Before I Let Go. I don't think so. This is like a 350 page book. I could eat this up in like 1 day. So these books, I'm trying to like get these out the way. Your girl's behind. Before I can hop back in series, I need to get these standalones out the way. If I'm trying to be on my Zoom, I prioritize these standalones, duologies. So then we have another TJ Klune book. Listen, I'm not a TJ Klune girly. Like I haven't actually read a full book by him yet. Just that my whole book club is literally obsessed with TJ Klune. So this book is reminding me of my Wattpad days when I was literally reading the Fated Mates werewolf books with the Alpha of the Pack and all that stuff. That's basically what this is. Then we have Fourth Wing. This is the book I was talking about that my FOMO was really eating me up alive. Like everyone read this book, everyone and their mama read this book, and I couldn't get this book because it was sold out. A lot of people in my Discord said it's ass. I plan on probably reading this at the end of the month, or if I really am craving fantasy, I'm gonna pull this out. The next book we have is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I haven't read a V.E. Schwab book, but I have a friend in my Discord that is obsessed with her and her writing style, and a lot of people say Vicious is a good intro to reading her books. I have the duology. I have Vicious and I have Vengeful. Books are not that long. This is 364 pages. So if I really just sit down and read this book, I will be able to get this out the way. And then this is the last book I have in physical copy because I have 3 other books that I'm reading right now. That's going to be in my Kindle. Beach Read by Emily Henry. I've never read an Emily Henry book, yet I have all 3 of her books besides People We Meet Vacation. It's a hit or miss, people say, with this book, so I'm kind of scared. Either people really like it or really hate it. Same thing with Fourth Wing. So I don't know how I'm gonna like this book, but you know, we gotta hope. Hopefully I go to the beach and read it. Okay, so now moving on to my Kindle books. I've already read 1 book on my Kindle. I've read 1 physical and 1 Kindle so far. The 1 Kindle book that I've read is A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson, and that book was like 290 pages. So that book was like super easy. I listened to it on audiobook this morning at my job. I was working 8-hour shift and I finished it within 5 hours. I have my rating on Goodreads if you want to see the rating right now, or you could wait till the end of the month and see how I did with my TBR. My current read right now is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. Listen, I'm reading all the TJ Klune's books, I guess. I don't know. A Diary of Blood and In the Lives of Puppets is my book of the month for my book club. We had chose 3 books and right now I'm trying to get those 3 books out the way. I am not that far into it, I think. I actually was listening to the audiobook while I was in the car and I actually fell asleep, so I have to go back and like reread some stuff. And then the last book I'm reading is Push by Nyla K. That's the only book I'm not excited for because I used to be my smut era and I still am in my smut era when it's done well and put at the perfect spots in a book. But Push is mainly smut. You go in and like I think on chapter 4 you're reading smut. So I'm a smut girly, but right now I'm in my just reading era or like world building era. I'm in my plot era. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so the fact that if I'm gonna read that book and it's gonna be so smutty, I guess I just have to read that book whenever I feel like I'm getting into a slump. I'll just read a whole smut book and hope for the best. But yeah, those are all the books I want to read. I think that's 12. I think this is 12. Okay, so that's 12 books, not including Vengeful, which is the 2nd book in the duology of Vicious. So that's 13 books. 4 weeks in the month. I have 13 books to read. 13. If we do 13 divided by 4, that means I would have to read 3 to 4 books a week. I can do that. Will I be able to do it? I have no idea. Subscribe and put them post notices on so you don't miss a video. And yeah, I know if you look back on my page, it says I haven't posted a video in like a month or 2. I think it's a month. But listen, I was in a slump in August. I was in a life slump. I didn't want to do anything. So I just said, fuck it. Fuck YouTube, it's okay to take a break. I will always prioritize my mental health and not force myself to do things because that is when you start burnout. See y'all next week. Bye!